How you going, you big bloody beautiful bastards? Here's me face. It's been a while since you've seen a traditional style film and TV review from me on this channel, so I'm keen as mustard to do this format for you guys again. Today I'm going to critically analyse the new YouTube released documentary called Planet of the Humans. The IMDb synopsis is as follows. Planet of the Humans takes a harsh look at how the environmental movement has lost the battle through well-meaning but disastrous choices. Credited as writer and director is Thanos. No, it's Jeff Gibbs. Funnily enough, he kind of looks like Thanos, the baddie from Avengers. We all know who Thanos is. Anyway, we'll get back to that later. And yeah, Michael Moore is credited as executive producer. You know him usually as a director. For example, Bowling for Columbine, Fahrenheit 9/11, Sicko, Where to Invade Next, The Awful Truth, Roger and Me. He's usually the auteur. But people don't always know the difference between all these roles, producer, co-producer, associate executive, or even producer and director. So, with his name on it, it's pretty much being called a Michael Moore film over and over and over again.
His new film,
Michael Moore has a new documentary.
Shockumentary maker Michael Moore.
Michael Moore.
the latest release from Michael Moore.
Anyway, let me kick things off in old school Aussie man style with what I like about Planet of the Humans. I like that it's fearless and it's willing to question industries and wealthy wankers that can be seen as holier than thou or beyond questioning and criticism. That is fearless. It explores the flaws and problems with green energy and renewable resources, solar, wind, biomass. It's skimmed on batteries, nothing on hydro or nuclear, and it criticises the wealthy environmentalists manufacturing or promoting these technologies. Al Gore, Elon Musk, Bill McKibben from 350.org. And there's nothing wrong with any of this. Capitalism, greed, money, corrupting a potentially good thing or a good person with good intentions and making it become as bad as another bad thing, e.g. coal, fossil fuels in this instance, is in no way a shit theme. It's a fair dinkum, top-notch theme. I'm down for it. And I like that they've released it on YouTube for free. Although, Michael, you should turn on your like and dislike ratio. Anyway, beyond those things, I do think the execution is piss poor, and that is concerning. If you've been paying attention and you know me well enough, you'll know that I do think climate change is a serious issue. And I do believe climate change is real and that we can expedite it through our activities. If we keep jacking off to fossil fuels and overconsumption, I really don't want to imagine what the year 2100 is going to be like. And I hate that conversation around climate change is so divisive. It's like, oh, you greeny lefty, first you fucking climate denier, you tree hugger hippie piece of shit, you far right ignoramus motherfucker. It's like, you know, politics has become tribalism. It is a sport, and this issue, unfortunately, is tied up in all of that fanatic behaviour. So if the execution of the film is poorly handled, then the work is just going to become nothing more than something that two political teams unproductively argue over.
They couldn't bring themselves to say the word coal, yet it's all powered by coal.
Let me clarify what I mean by poorly executed though. The first 30 odd minutes looks at solar power and wind turbines and informs us that the technology is unreliable, expensive, heavily intertwined with fossil fuels, at least at a manufacturing level and potentially a waste disposal level if shit doesn't work out. And it also tells me that people make money off it. The footage used during this sequence does appear to be pretty old, like up to a decade old. Solar in particular is more reliable and inexpensive than ever at the moment. Full disclosure, I have 18 Solaria 360 kilowatt panels on my home with a 25-year warranty on them. I thought that was pretty good, 25 years. I have an inverter, I have a storage battery, that's the Tesla 13.5 kilowatt Powerwall 2, so I have skin in the game. Yeah, no. Many of us want to collectively pitch in to make the planet better. I feel like that's where the mentality has been at the last few years. So do what you can on your own home and your own consumption habits. Do what you can. Eat a bloody vegan Beyond Burger from Grilled like once a week. It's good. And I think lots of people, including myself, are interested in a transition from traditional fossil fuels to something cleaner? Is that a word that maybe resonates with you dickheads, like transition? Do you ever use that word in discussions with friends and fucking family? The film never acknowledges the word transition. It's like, how do you not acknowledge that word, that this is a transition and there's a teething process? And yeah, you might say someone is unrealistic for ever having hope in new technologies. I'd still say it's unrealistic to think they can change the world like that. And that the long-term usage and the calculations of new technologies emitting less CO2 can outweigh the short-term destructiveness to make them. You could add that in narration as a thought path, rather than having a total blind spot to it. Anyway, look, the film then goes on to explore biomass for a chunk of the time code, and yeah, Jeff and Michael could have just made a film about biofuels and biomass, and it would have been pretty engaging and coherent. And then the last 10 to 15 minutes is about overpopulation, and there's an orangutan dying in the footage. And that's not a bad topic either. I'm not saying that's totally shithouse. It's just poorly executed. That deserves a 100-minute time code in itself, that fucking Thanos type of ending, to explore that shit thoroughly instead of like just tacking it on at the end. It needs its own larger time code, because that's a complex one. Population control or birth control.
That it's not the carbon dioxide molecule destroying the planet. It's us.
And that saying at the end that you can't have infinite growth on a planet with finite resources is good, thought-provoking.
We humans must accept that infinite growth on a finite planet is suicide.
But yeah, ultimately you just end up with a film where the top comment is, wow, I'm depressed. Oh gee, I feel so hopeless. I was already ready to kill myself in the pandemic. Now I'm doubly as ready to kill myself. This is the most depressing thing ever. I'm depressed, depressed.
It's not depressing.
It is weird seeing Michael Moore talk about like young people being the solution and young people got to solve this, while also delivering a film that is so hopeless.
We need young people to take the reins away from the boomers and the others who have done good work but haven't saved the planet.
That feels a bit jarring. So yeah, my message to young people, if you're working in engineering, climate science or physics or regular science or all of that shit that I'm not good at, then, you know, keep going and stay positive and stay optimistic. And I'm hoping this is a transition and the world is a more sustainable place in 100 years. Yeah, I don't want to hope beyond the point where I'm fucking deluded or in denial. But, you know, you gotta still have a little bit of hope that we're going on the right path. And these big issues, they do all cross over, the overconsumption and overpopulation stuff, but still not all in the one film. All right, I'm gonna go, but good chats, and yeah, have a chat in the comments and stuff. Be nice to each other. Don't just go, oh, you're left or right wing motherfucker. Like, just go easy on that shit, all right? And actually have a conversation about real things in a nice manner, please. All right, that's not gonna happen. Anyway, yeah, cheers everyone. See ya.